Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in the 5th game between MouzMaNa and LiquidNazgul here on Steps of War. I believe that they've already played on this map, so I don't know if this is more of a casual game or a friendly game, just to figure out who's going to be able to just play each other and win. And now players talking to each other and want to pause, no need. You guys can read that if you want to. Coming back over here, LiquidNazgul I'm gonna go ahead and dropping that pylon there and continue to mine out of this. Wow, not even talking straight today. Yeah, this is like the 9th replay that I've been doing today, so voice is a little raspy. Apologies. Probes still being produced. Pylon nearing completion, as we also have a pylon by MouzMaNa. MouzMaNa trying to perhaps wall off this front door with that single zealot, being able to hold that ramp much more easily. Chrono boost by LiquidNazgul and MouzMaNa, indicating that no one's really going to be going for a 2-gate rush on Steps of War. 2-gateway rush on Steps of War is fairly common, as you know where your opponent spawns fairly early or at the start of the game, and on top of that, the walking distance between these two players is very minimal. So Probe now moving out, both players going to be going ahead and trying to scout, trying to gather as much information as they possibly can. LiquidNazgul not getting a gas yet. Meanwhile, MouzMaNa getting a single gas up, trying to go for a single assimilator and only a single gateway at this stage, so it may be a single gate into a cybernetics core. Back over here, we have double pylons and also getting that assimilator as well. So LiquidNazgul wanting to make sure that his opponent was going for the cybernetics core and saw that there is an assimilator down there before getting the assimilator himself and trying to go for that cybernetics core. So I'm assuming the cybernetics core will be built momentarily by both of these players. The assimilator finishes warping in, and yeah, 3 probes on the gas nearly indicate, or pretty clearly indicates, that we will in fact have a cybernetics core coming. There it is. Coming down over here, MouzMaNa also getting that cybernetics core as well. So both players opening up with a similar strategy. Zealot being produced out of that gateway. That poor probe gonna get taken down as it's being forced to pull back away. Able to get through the shields of that pylon, down to 180 hit points on that pylon, but I expect that pylon to be able to regenerate nearly up to full shields once again. Probe just scouting out across the map, and already that pylon up to 30 shields. We do in fact have a single zealot now coming up perhaps to do a little bit more harassment, and if he's able to take down this pylon, that would be very, very good use. In comes this fight. Probe gonna try to zap down that one zealot, and will he be able to take it down? Not quite sure, as both players trying to exchange blows. Probe has been taken down, and wow, that zealot has been taken down. So zealot now down to 11 hit points as MouzMaNa loses that one early zealot. However, second gateway now being placed in by MouzMaNa, and MouzMaNa also getting an additional zealot to hold on that high ground. Cybernetics core gonna go ahead and use that chrono boost on the cybernetics core to get that warp gate research, going for a triple gate opening. So triple gate opening, perhaps going for some heavy sentry use or some stalker use. More likely sentries at this stage in the game, as sentries are very, very effective at holding the choke points on this map. Also, stalkers are really not that useful in a Protoss versus Protoss Mirror match when your opponents are going zealots or perhaps even immortals. Those immortals just rip through those stalkers like they're made of paper. Poor Probe now continuing to run around. Probe may get taken down by that, no, not taken down by that sentry, and this LiquidNazgul gonna go ahead and, unable to get a zap off on that slippery Peppy the Probe, who happens to be carrying minerals. So he's bearing gifts for the rest of his people. 2 sentries on this high ground. Robotics facility now being put down by MouzMaNa, perhaps for some immortals, and we'll see how that works out for him. Taking a look back over here, sentry, single sentry with double zealots now being produced. Warp gate nearing completion, so these will be upgraded to warp gates momentarily, and we should see a fair number of units trying to be warped in as well. LiquidNazgul also getting a nexus up and running out at his expansion, so wanting to get that economic advantage. However, MouzMaNa does see LiquidNazgul getting this expansion with Peppy the Probe hiding behind these mineral lines. And in comes this army. So this army now also getting 5 sentries. So that's going to be a lot of guardian shields and a lot of sentries. Back over here, the guardian shield's not going to be nearly that useful, as it's only going to be an immortal and 3 sentries, so perhaps we're going to see some good force field use. And I can't really foresee them trying to push up here. And now getting a nice force field and really being able to take down a lot of these units. However, trying to split it up so that none of these sides able to really pull back out. And now there's 5 force fields for LiquidNazgul, having plenty of energy. And now dropping another force field, making sure that no units come down. So yeah, 2 Immortals, a couple Sentries, and a single Zealot sitting down over here. Back in the base, I don't see a Robo Bay yet, so there's not going to be any additional units. And another Sentry being used, so those Immortals once again being split back up. Immortals trying to focus down those additional units, but those Immortals with only a range of 5, unable to really push back out. And LiquidNazgul continually dropping force fields on this front door, buying him time to get this expansion up and running, and now gonna go ahead and transfer some probes over. And down over here, are we gonna get another force field perhaps? Force field still fluttering there, units still trying to test that waters. And another force field being brought into play, so MouzMaNa really unable to head out of that base. Still trying to mass up a fairly large army, but things are looking very bad for for MouzMaNa. MouzMaNa really unable to mine out. And taking a look at the income, we have 37 harvesters for LiquidNazgul compared to the 733 harvesters for MouzMaNa. However, the real difference is in the numbers of how many minerals per minute. 1,200 versus 8, just because he's mining from 16 mineral patches. In come those units once again, and perhaps we're going to get another another force field down over here. It looks as though a robotics bait now being put up, so trying to get a Colossus in order to be able to step around this force field and perhaps push back these sentries. Army-wise, MouzMaNa sitting on a 1550 against LiquidNazgul's 1600, but it just doesn't feel like a fair fight as those units are constantly stuck in that base this whole entire time. Still plenty of energy on all of these sentries, so these sentries are going to be able to continually cast force fields. And more of these units, both players just trying to mass up. Chrono Boost now being used on the robotics facility, trying to get that very, very fast Colossus. But however, Immortals now being massed up by LiquidNazgul. So LiquidNazgul using Chrono Boost to get those Immortals, and those Immortals will be able to shoot down and take down that Colossus very, very quickly. I do not see the range upgrade being researched, so that's going to be a very, very devastating blow. Another force field being dropped into position, and the Colossus should be coming around the corner, perhaps down over here, and then trying to chase down those sentries, but perhaps over to the north, as those sentries need to run to the north anyways. So we'll see what's going to be happening. Colossus now once again being built, and that in comes this Colossus as well. So that Colossus able to do a little bit of swiping, able to take down one sentry, getting one kill. Oh, 2 kills off on that Colossus, and now the front door and the floodgates have in fact been opened. So out come these units. Sentries now pulling back. No observers were built by MouzMaNa, so MouzMaNa does not know about this expansion, and he does not know about the size or the amount of damage that will be able to be dealt by LiquidNazgul's army. Pylon sitting over here as well, enabling him to drop in additional resources if the fight deems necessary. LiquidNazgul sitting on 200 minerals, so will not be able to warp in that much, and in comes these units. The force fields now being drawn in, and a nice couple of force fields trying to push back a couple of those Colossus. Units continuing to push, and although those Zealots getting forced down really, really quickly, Immortals and a single Colossus quickly getting taken down, as there's 6 Immortals continuing to push in, and MouzMaNa is forced to say GG. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening to all 5 of these games between LiquidNazgul and MouzMaNa. Game 5 taking place on Steps of War.